हरि सची माता प्रणदन गौर हरि निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो जय नवनीत कृष्णा जय नवनीत कृष्णा जय नवनीत कृष्णा जय नवनीत कृष्णा जय श्रीनिवास गोविंद जय श्रीनिवास गोविंद जय श्रीनिवास गोविंद जय श्रीनिवास गोविंद जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद पाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदस्य श्रीमान दिव्यन के सभा चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की इस्कान संस्थापनाचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की एवं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदस्य श्रीमान दिव्यन के भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की ताय गौर प्रेम नंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, prayers by Kunti Maharani, 26th verse. Janmaishvarya Shrutashribhir Yedamana puman Naivaharti abhidhatum vai Tvama kinchana gocharam Janmaishvarya Shrutashribhir येदमानामधपुमान् नैवार्ति अभिधातुं वै त्वामकिञ्चन गोचरम् जन्मैश्वर्यश्रुतश्रीभिर् येदमानामधपुमान् नैवार्ति अभिधातुं वै त्वामकिञ्चन गोचरम्। What word meaning? Janma, birth. Aishwarya, opulence. Shruta, education. Shribihi, by the possession of beauty. Edamana, progressively increasing. Madaha, intoxication. Puman, the human being. Na, never. Eva, ever. Arhati, deserves. Abhidatum, to address in feeling. Why? Certainly. Tvam, you. Akinchana gocharam, one who is approached easily by the materially exhausted man. Translation by Sri Vengesh A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My Lord, your lordships can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is in the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectful parentage, great opulence, high education, bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. Translation with repetition. My Lord, your lordships can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Being materially advanced means taking birth in an aristocratic family and possessing great wealth and education and attractive personal beauty. All materialistic men are mad after possessing all these material opulences, and this is known as the advancement of material civilization. But the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. Consequently, such materially puffed persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. It is said in the Shastras that by one's utterance of the holy name of the Lord, the sinner gets rid of the quantity of the sins that he is unable to commit. Such is the power of uttering the holy name of the Lord. There is not the least exaggeration in this statement. Actually, Lord's holy name has such a powerful potency, but there is a quality to such utterances also. It depends on the quality of feeling. A helpless man can feelingly utter the holy name of the Lord, whereas a man who utters the same holy name in great material satisfaction cannot be so sincere. A materially puffed up person may utter the holy name of the Lord occasionally, but he is incapable of uttering the holy name in quality. Therefore, the four principles of material advancements, namely high parentage, good wealth, high education, attractive beauty, are so to speak disqualifications for progress of path of spiritual advancement. The material covering of the pure spirit soul is an external feature as much as fever is an external feature of the unhealthy body. General process is to decrease the degree of the fever and not to aggravate it by maltreatment. Sometimes it is seen that spiritually advanced persons become materially impoverished. This is so discouragement. On the other hand, such impoverishment is good sign as much as falling of temperature is a good sign. The principle of life should be to decrease the degree of material intoxication, which leads one to be more and more illusioned about the aim of life. Grossly illusioned persons are quite unfit for the entrance into the kingdom of God. Thus is the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimidam Dasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदाङ्कितं नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So today verse is Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribir Edamana Madahman Naivaharti Avidatum Vai Tvama Kinchana Gocha. Here Kunti Maharani, the previous verse if you see, she was inviting all the troubles on her so that she can remember the Lord continuously. So to remember the Lord continuously, what is required and what is not required, that is the subject today. So these four things, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shribir. Janma means taking birth in aristocratic family, Aishwarya means having lot of opulence, and Shruta means good education, Shribhi means very beautiful features. So these four things, Kunti Maharani says, these four things are obstacles for progressing in devotional service. How it is obstacle? These four things bring a madaha. Madaha means intoxication, otherwise pride. These four things gives us pride. And when you have everything sufficient, then if you have pride, then you cannot feelingly approach the Lord. So devotional service means approaching the Lord feelingly, understanding we are Anu, our Lord is Vibhu, and our condition in this material world, it's so volatile and we are so much vulnerable. The three modes of nature, at any minute, at any second, the three modes of material nature can encapture us, and we are nowhere in devotional service. So this danger is there. Even Prahlad Maharaj also prays, I am not worried about your very, very ferocious form, and I am not worried about anything, but only I am worried about this Shodasa Chakra, this 16 chakras, 16 elements. That means it is actually indirectly the time factor as well as the three modes of nature. I am so much worried of the material association of these demons, and at any minute I may be missing you, I may be forgetting you. So that is our condition. Our condition is not stable. So don't think that always you are in a stable position. We are not in stable position. As far as you are in material consciousness in the material world, you are any minute you can be attacked by these three modes of nature, and these three modes of nature you may not be able to see them, but they are separate personalities, they can influence you. Think like they are separate personalities which can influence you. Whenever the senses, if you see, senses are the instruments of three modes of nature. Where did Krishna says this? Krishna says one place where this stays, where this sits, lust. The three modes of nature, Kamayesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna, Samudbhava. Mahashino Mahapapma. These three things, this kama, this lust is nothing but a pride. Pride, one of the synonym. See, these things sits on the senses. Sitting on the senses means what? The senses invoke you to do that activity. Senses drag you to do that activity, which is not really favorable for devotional service. The sense gratification. And your mind, manashashtan indiyani, mind also drags. So, we are thinking we know so many things, but we are not. We may be knowing, theoretically you may be learning, you may be having gnana, everything, but practically, realization point of view, if you see, we don't know anything. We are almost zero. Because these are all the elements are acting as personalities, are influencing every second you. So you will be always put in the material condition. So very, very carefully we have to lead our life. So this pride is very dangerous. So for example, you get some success in your services. So that's what in our tradition, in our sampradaya. So spiritual master, any results, whatever you get, all these results, any results, whatever you get, either money, Lakshmi, or you maybe get respect, everything, that has to be dovetailed to whom? Your immediate spiritual master. You should always have this conscious that whatever is happening in your life, it is because of the spiritual master, and give everything, every credit to spiritual master. It is not easy. You may think it is easy. We are talking. No, it is not easy. When that situation comes to you and falls on you, then you have to see. You become intoxicated. For example, you get wealth. So much you get wealth. How? You go and you collect so much. That also, it's a intoxication. That doesn't mean that you should not collect, but you should have the conscious that because I am in this moment, because the spiritual master's tapasya, because spiritual master's blessings I am getting. Always give credit to spiritual master. So sound is okay? Not having problem. So always give credit to spiritual master. This is one principle we should all remember. You may be successful in your devotional service, but one principle you should remember. These four things are very, very dangerous for our life. If you are very, very, very eloquent in speech, you are giving very good lectures. So many people say, Swami, so Prabhuji, your lecture is so nice. So don't get trapped to all these things. See, these lectures, all these things, Krishna's blessings to us, and you have some karma. But you should always worship, you always feelingly pray, Lord and spiritual master, I should be in your service. This is what the prayer you should always do. So, now once you get pride, what will happen? You become little intoxicated. I am the person did all these things. I am the person did all these things. Then what happens? Immediately Krishna is not with you. We have very good examples. When in the Rasa Leela time, when gopis were all, Krishna has come to meet gopis, and gopis were thinking, we are the best devotees in this universe. Immediately Krishna leaves them. Immediately, within second. This is what our situation. If you want Krishna, you should be always humble. Humble means what? It is not that artificial you should be humble. You should have knowledge. In this world, even grass also cannot move without the sanction of Paramatma, who is Krishna himself. So, nothing can happen without the sanction of the Daivam, Lord. So, this much information you should always keep rotating in your mind. This intelligence, this is called intelligence. Otherwise, what will happen? Because of the intoxication, you stop listening. For example, Dhritarashtra, initially Akrura went to see Dhritarashtra. Akrura was actually preaching him, why are you doing all these things? Pandavas are eligible owners of this throne. So why are you trying to suppress them? This is not good. This is sin. You know this. When it was asked, Dhritarashtra was telling, yes, I know, I am doing sin, but I am helpless. I am continuously helpless. See, this is association. If you continuously improve these kind of qualities, the danger is whatever instruction gets to you. Even Bhishma was telling to Dhritarashtra, even Krishna has told Dhritarashtra, and so many elderly, Vidura is preaching to Dhritarashtra, but Dhritarashtra cannot take instruction. The problem with this pride is you cannot take instruction. You cannot take instruction from authorities, you cannot take instruction from Prabhupada, you cannot take instruction from Krishna, you become intoxicated. So that is the reason all the rules and regulations are there in our Sampradaya. You have to do this only. There is a restriction on everything. This restriction is not to this restriction is not to cut your rights and all. This restriction is to improve your good qualities and decrease your bad qualities, because by default we are with all these qualities, Arshad Vargas. So now devotees who is in knowledge, he will always be trying to practice to be humble. Whatever credit comes, he will give all the credit to spiritual master. It is true, because of spiritual master empowerment, spiritual master's Leela, the things are happening. Otherwise, spiritual master Leela is not there, then Yasha Prasadat, Bhagat Yasha Prasada, Aprasada, Nagati Kutopi. There is no destination, there is no goal for us at all. So the spiritual master's recognition in every activity of our devotional service, every achievement of devotional service is very, very important. So we should become prideless. Then only we can approach Krishna feelingly. So that is the reason Vipadashantu, she is asking, you give me troubles. So best example for this is Sudama Vipra. The Sudama Vipra is the best disciple. So let us see today Sudama Vipra qualities. Before going to that, I just narrate very beautiful conversation between Parishit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. You must have heard this, but please hear again. So Parishit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami one question. What is this question? Lord Shiva sits under a tree, possesses nothing, but the devotees, not devotees, worshippers, devotees only for Krishna, worshippers of Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, are so opulent. But when you see Lord Vishnu, he is so opulent, Bhagavan, having all the possessions. But worshippers of Lord Vishnu are beggars. Because why he asked this question? That previous chapter, previous question, previously he asked Sukadeva Goswami, Vedas are material sound. Vedas, whatever we are doing, Vedas are material sound. How can this Vedas, a material sound, can give a spirituality to living entities? Then Sukadeva Goswami says, the essence of Vedic wisdom is to do devotional service, and devotional service is not material, it is a transcendental activity, he says. So then immediately he asks, devotional service you are saying, the people who are all doing devotional service, they are all beggars, they are all not having any kind of, they look like they possess nothing. They possess nothing. They possess nothing. So then how people encourage it to take devotional service? See, beautiful questions. That's where Parishit Maharaj starts asking, Lord Shiva, whoever worships Lord Shiva, they are very opulent, they are enjoying in this material world, and is grossly. Actually, Parishit Maharaj is a pure devotee, he knows everything. So, this is asked for our knowledge, for our purpose. And what are the instructions given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? What are the instructions given by Krishna? It is also for entire humanity. In Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says, these instructions given by Krishna is entire humanity, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva also should follow these instructions. If they don't, if you don't follow, we are unfortunate. Prabhupada says this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, enough. So Prabhupada says this. So Sukadeva Goswami heard this question and he recollects, he narrates a conversation between Yudhishthira Maharaj and Lord Krishna. So Yudhishthira Maharaj also asked same thing. So your devotees, you are saying, your devotees, how they will get encouraged? Because in devotional service, if anybody enters, they will not be happy materially. So same questions asked. Then Krishna says, this is famous sloka, every one of you know. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Yashaham Anugrannami Harishe Tadhanam Senaihi Tatodanam Tajachasya Swajana Dukka Dukkitam. Yashaham Aham Anugrannami. So when I bless anybody, if I do anybody favor, then immediately what I will do? Harishe Tadanam Senaihi. Whatever money, whatever opulence they have, I remove that opulence. You see, it's a very strong time, we get shaken. Now, initial days when I started coming, I saw this sloka. Then I was really worried. If you go to Krishna, everything will remove. See, anybody newly if they come, if you say anybody remove, but if you understand what is that, his intention is to remove. Tadodanam tvajasasya swajana dukka dukkitam. So what will happen? Whenever you get a beggar or a pauper, immediately no relative will speak to you. First thing relatives gets, actually even they don't give any respect to you. As soon as you don't get respect from your relatives or the people, what happens to you? You get frustrated. What is this? Till now everybody is respecting, now nobody is respecting. What happened to these people? And started thinking, you get frustrated. When you get frustrated in these things, immediately Krishna will sanction. You will get attached to Krishna. Feelingly you will ask Krishna, Krishna, please protect me, please save me. You start asking feelingly. This feeling is very important. So Prabhupada also says how to chant. You have to chant like a small child crying for mother. Similarly, we should all don't get complacent at all. Any position don't get complacent. Because this material world is designed in such a way that any minute you get trouble. Davanala, it's a forest fire. Everything is fine, all of a sudden you get. Recently I was hearing they went for a trip and they were walking on the small ice cubes are there, the ice snow was there, they are walking on the snow. All of a sudden from the glaciers, from top of the mountain, so much fog, so much ice fell. As soon as it fell, they were all very enjoying. See, if you go to a place like, you go to a place like where very good environment and very calm and peace and all, so you enjoy nicely. So you are enjoying all of a minute, everybody got sucked with captured in this ice. People are trying to lift them. So there, one family was written. So one family, father and brothers, there's a family, you take your elders, your mother and father, you take, like that they went, a family, father, mother and children are not there, they went. So children were on that side. So these people went on to that path, and it is said that the father died all of a sudden. And in ice, no, what happens? In ice, what happened? Blood clots. Blood clots, wherever if you are in ice more time, blood clots, that part will not work. So one person, his son, legs up to here, they have to cut. See, everything is fine. Everything is very nice, very nicely enjoying. No, very nice. With 1 second, within a second, whole misery. See. So this material world is very unpredictable for all of us. So don't stand on the material principles at all. So you have to get rid of the material principles. How to get rid of material principles? You have to follow the Mahajanas. You have to follow the people who has developed these qualities. So let us look into Sudama's pastime. You all know Sudama pastime, but I just wanted to repeat it. What is Sudama qualities? So Sukadeva Goswami was narrating this pastime, and Parishit Maharaj asked Sukadeva Goswami, explain me more about Krishna's pastime, more Krishna Leelas. Then Sukadeva Goswami started narrating. He is telling, Shri Sukau Vacha Krishnasyasit Saka Kaschid Brahmano Brahmavittamaha Viraktar Indiyarteshu Prasannatma Jitendriyaha. There was a Brahman friend of Krishna. What is this Brahman friend? He is a Brahmana, Brahmavittamaha. That means he is Brahmagnani. He is actually fully knowledgeable. Brahmano Brahmavittamaha Viraktar Indriyarteshu. This is important quality. These are all the qualities you should see. Virakta Indriyarteshu means he is detached from the sense gratification. And Prasannatma Jitendriyaha. These are all very important qualities the devotees should develop. One is detached from sense gratification. Senses are always dragging us. As I told you, senses are venomous serpents. They are sitting with us. They are not us. They are not. We are not senses. So we are utilizing the senses of this body. When as soon as senses, the senses are dragging us. The senses are dragging us. So you have to get detached from the senses. What is the best way to get detached from the senses? Best way to get detached from the senses, to think about pleasing Krishna. Instead of pleasing ourselves, you always think, how can I please Krishna? How can I please Nitaya Gauranga? In the altar, Lord is, see, Pancharatrika Vidhi introduced by Prabhupada to just get connected to Krishna in different ways. One of the ways to get connected to deity. How can I please deity every day? So coming in front of deity with nice tilak, nicely shaven, nice, it's also pleasing the deity. Not only that, you do something, because we are already into devotional service. So every day do something to the deity. Get some contacts, go and preach somebody and announce the preaching. Get some contacts, get some Lakshmi for deity. Try. Already we have name and fame by now, because of Akshay Patra, because of all these things. But now we have to try. Go and approach people. Every day do something. Some tyaga you can do. Some tyaga means taking cold water bath. Of course, not in summer, every day. Every day morning, getting up early for coming to Mangalarti. Before curtain opens, you should be in Mangalarti, because Lord is coming. King of the universes is coming and is presenting darshan, and you are coming late. So before curtain opens, I should go to the Mangalarti. These are all the things. If you can improve, automatically senses will always work towards whatever you think, whatever you wanted to do. So then senses started working for that, then they started getting detached. Our principle is not control. So our principle is to engage. Please understand. We don't control mind. We engage mind. We don't control senses. We engage senses for Krishna's purpose, for Krishna consciousness purpose. Pleasing Krishna is not only part of our thing. Pleasing other Vaishnavas, pleasing other senior devotees, pleasing your authorities, pleasing Srila Prabhupada. How you please directly Srila Prabhupada? You please try to please your authorities. So this will improve. This will definitely give you a solace. You can get detached from the senses. Krishna says, spreading his message. Nachatasmat manusheshu kashinme priyakruttamaha. To spread his message, you have to read. You should know this message. You should know this philosophy. What we have is the highest philosophy we have. So you should know this philosophy. Once you know this philosophy, you catch hold of. So many people are coming now temple. We have a temple facility. So many people are coming to temple. You catch hold of some people. Explain them about Krishna consciousness. After Shaina Arati or Pallaki, after this, you speak to some people. You initiate speaking. It is not that they should come and ask you. You should initiate speaking with them and explaining Krishna consciousness, giving the Hari Namam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that mantra. So Prabhupada gets pleased. Give a book to them and ask them to read and follow up. So many people want this message because they don't know. They don't know these things. That's the reason they are into ignorance. They are committing all kinds of sins. You can preach. So Indriyas are personalities. Venomous serpents, they are personalities. So these personalities always acting on you. Mind you. You are always conscious about. Indriya is asking something, that means that is not favorable to Krishna. So you have to start controlling. Yuktahara viharasya. So you just take little, whatever requirement. It goes input, output. So input should be very controlled. And now what happened? One more quality of him is Jitendriyaha. So he is controlled his Indriyas. So what is that which is very difficult to control? The tongue. We have been listening to this, but you not put your mind or you contemplate any subject. You have to contemplate. So Jivva is very, very difficult to control. So now you have to control Jivva. That is the reason fasting on Ekadasi, not feasting, fasting on Ekadasi, fasting on the very festivals. Especially Ekadasi is an opportunity for us to fast. So if somebody is not able to do fast, reduce whole. Say for example, you are taking some 100 grams of something or 200 grams of something. Reduce that. Minimize your requirement. You minimize. Spend more time for chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Now that we have taken a vow that we will chant, everybody chants 64 rounds on Ekadasi. So you reduce your requirements of input and increase your chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is a tapasya, yajna. Like that you should do, so that your senses will be under control. So then you become Prasannatma. Once your senses are controlled, you become Prasannatma. It's just like Prabhupada gives now in Bhagavatam is there. You have 6 wives or 5 wives. 5 wives or 5 husbands. So these are always asking something. You will always be in tension. So senses are always give you tension. Once you control the senses, then you become Prasannatma. You don't anchor for so many things. So next sloka, Sukadeva Goswami explaining his qualities. Yadruchayopapannena vartmano grahashrami tasya bharya kuchailasya kshukshama cha tata vidha. So yadrucha So he is a Grihasthrami. Grihasthrami means he is a Grihastha. So Grihastha devotee. So he will need so many things to run the Grihastha life, so that he become so many requirements. But if you are Yadrucha Papanna, Yadrucha Labha Santushto, this is also there in Bhagavad Gita. So Yadrucha means whatever comes according to the destiny, if you can take, if you can improve this quality, whatever comes into the into our requirement, so you take that one. Don't get excited, hesitated, frustrated. Krishna knows. You are surrendered to Prabhupada. Krishna knows whatever you want. Krishna gives whatever you want. Through the system he will give. You should have this faith. Avakshara Shibe Krishna. So Krishna will always give protection as well as he gives whatever you want. So you see, Tasya Bharya Kuchailasya. He is in such a Daridra. Daridra means he is such a bad condition. He doesn't have dress to wear. Kuchailasya. Kuchaila means his dress is having turns. It's already turned dress he is wearing. And Chukshama. Chukshama means he is having so much hungry. That means he doesn't have money also. He is not having facility, he is not having money, he is not having good health, he is not having good clothes. Even then he is Prasannatma. That means he is depending on Krishna. Krishna knows whatever I want, he will give. So such a Brahmana, his wife is a Pativrata. His wife comes to him and requests him, why don't you? So she directly doesn't request him. She explains about the qualities of Krishna, and he says, if you go, and he may say, I don't go for begging Krishna, this is not my requirement, so I have to go only to do please Krishna, do devotion service, I should not ask anything Krishna, this is a pure devotee concept. So she is asking so many things, she is putting so many things so that he will agree to go. She is telling, your Lord, you are a friend of Krishna, and that Krishna is there in Dwaraka. Nowadays he is not going anywhere, he is only in Dwaraka. And what is the quality of Krishna is Smaratau Padakamalam Atmanam Apiyachati. If somebody thinks about Krishna's lotus feet, he will give himself to them. Such is the quality of your friend. So you are always thinking about him. You are always thinking about him, and that personality, somebody thinks about his lotus feet, he will give himself to him. So such a personality, why don't you go so that he will give something to us? Now then Sudama is thinking, continuously he is thinking, why to go to ask something Krishna? But Paramalabho Uttama Shloka Darshanam. He was thinking, the highest achievement in the life is to have darshanam of Krishna. The highest achievement. So in this context, I just would like to narrate one small pastime which happened when Sanatan Goswami, in between Sanatan Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sanatan Goswami was in jail, and somehow he escaped from jail. All the story you know. And he finally reaches Varanasi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stays in which house? Tapan Mishra house. Tapan Mishra, Chandrasekhar. So in one house, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in devotee's house, he was staying. Then by the time he crosses this, by the time he was in jail, by the time he crosses, he was so dirty. Who? Sanatan Goswami, so dirty. So dirty means he's much dirtier than the beggar. He doesn't take bath, he doesn't have any proper clothing, he's so much bird, so dirty. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recognizes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Tapan Mishra, go and see outside, there is a Brahmana, Vaishnava is there, call him. Tapan Mishra goes out, he sees this beggar. He says, outside there is no Vaishnava, Mahaprabhu, there is no Vaishnava outside, there is a beggar. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, call him. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls him, as soon as Sanatana Goswami comes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gets up and he actually hugs him. And Sanatana Goswami is saying, Mahaprabhu, don't touch me, don't touch me. I am in very dirty condition, don't touch me, don't touch me. But he hugs, even then he hugs. Because Lord doesn't see your external conditions. Lord, what he will see? Your internal conditions. What sincerity, what is your love towards Lord. And Lord is actually, just if you remember his lotus feet, he is going to give you so much. So, if you continuously do devotional service to Lord, imagine how he will treat you. He will actually keep you in Lord's heart. So, there is one sloka Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refers. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Akshnoho phalam tadrusha darshanam hi tanhoho phalam tadrusha gatra sangaha jihva phalam tadrusha kirtanam hi sudurlabam bhagavata hiloke. Saying, Akshoham phalam tadrusha darshanam hi, watching you or seeing you is the ultimate goal of the eyes. My dear Vaishnava, seeing a person like you is the perfection of one's eyesight. Touching your lotus feet is the perfection of sense of touch. And glorifying your good qualities is the tongue's real activity. For why it is so real, so why it is said like this? Because in the material world, very, very difficult to get a pure devotee of the Lord. Imagine, it's very, very difficult to get a pure devotee of the Lord. And we have Srila Prabhupada with us. Imagine what kind of a fortunate situation we are all in. If you can every day have Srila Prabhupada's darshan and pray for him with your heart, not just like singing, but you should put your absorb in the praying, absorb in the kirtan, absorb in Guru Puja, without deviating, without thinking anything, just absorb in Guru Puja. So it is perfection of you. You get perfected. Your senses are get perfected. So sense gratification can be avoided if you start doing the observed spiritual. The quality of devotion service matters here. In Bhagavad Gita also it comes actually. The quality of devotional service. Everybody is doing devotional service. But somebody does good quality of devotional service, they will have a fast advancement in understanding or self-realization. Human life is meant for self-realization. Human life is not meant for eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Human life is meant for self-realization. The self-realization is very much easily possible in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tradition. Just by following the rules and regulations, whatever Srila Prabhupada has given to us, if you just follow the morning sadhana, the first 6 hours sadhana, most of the 99% of your senses will be controlled. You don't need to specially endeavor mind control, sense control. You don't need to endeavor. You perfectly attend your sadhana. Everything is controlled. And that's what he is saying. Akshnoham tadrusham darshanam hi. Tanho, touching your lotus feet is the perfection of sense of touch. Glorifying the good qualities of your tongue is real activity. Always glorify Prabhupada. Anybody you meet, little about Krishna after Prabhupada. Glorify Prabhupada. Whatever he has done to you, to us, it is even not even comparable. I will tell you. So that Sudama Vipra was in that condition. Wife is asking, okay, time is up. So wife is asking, why don't you go? And your master is such a master, he will give his life to the people who remembers his lotus feet. Then he is thinking, Paramalabho, Ushtama Shloka Darshanam. He is thinking, what is the ultimate labha is just to see Krishna. Then he decided to go. So then he decide to go. So there are so many points are there. So we can discuss these points in our next class. So these are all the points how to control senses. Conclusion is, don't be jitendriyaha, okay, and the other quality of Sudama. So virakta indriyarteshu, sense gratification, detach from sense gratification. Don't get attached to our senses. Very dangerous. Virakta indriyarteshu, prasannatma jitendriya. Every one of us came to Krishna conscious to get advanced in spiritual life. If you don't put your endeavor, if you don't do endeavor, if you be complacent in ashram or in outside, whatever may be, if you become complacent, so then there is no advancement in spiritual life. So we should get advanced every day. You should get little advance. You are chanting, chant more qualitily. The holy name of the Lord in the purport Prabhupada says can remove the sinful person which he cannot even commit. So many sins if he commit, he will remove. So, but the quality of chanting is important. The quality of chanting is feelingly you should chant. What you feelingly means, my Lord, I am in a very helpless condition in the material world. Three modes of nature is acting, three modes of nature is capturing and making me to do and get entangled in this material world and suffer. So please remove me from these three modes of material nature and give me solace from this dahyamanaha. Prahlad Maharaj says, everybody is dahyamanaha, everybody is getting burned in this material world. Please remove from this burning and make me a sincere devotee of Srila Prabhupada. If you pray, obviously that Nama Prabhu will bless all of us to get advanced and understand the nature of the material universe and go back to Lord. Okay, so every day nicely chant and don't get so much, so many things will be available to you, but you should restrict yourself. For example, prasadam, so much prasadam will be available. It is meant for devotees to take prasadam, but you have to restrict prasadam yourself, thinking the consequences what you get in the future. Okay, so according to Krishna has given some statements, and these statements is not only for Arjuna, it is for every human being, and it is for even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma also. What about us? So it's for us also, and we are fortunate to get in contact with Srila Prabhupada. Use all these facilities and advance in devotional service. Use all the facilities. You have all the facilities today to become pure devotee. So use all these facilities and advance. So that was the conclusion of this statement. Janmaishwarya Shutasri Madhapma. Don't be proud of any achievement, and the pride comes because of your negligence of the sense controlling. If you don't control senses, automatically everything comes. If you can correctly follow the morning sadhana given by Srila Prabhupada, all these things will be controlled. Okay? So with this I will stop this class. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.
Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Never miss any update.